You're welcome to Jedala Fashion Guide. I am Joy, your fashion tutor. I want to welcome you, especially today is your first time watching this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a big thank you to you for supporting this channel. And for you who have not yet subscribed but you have been watching, I'd like you to just make up your mind today and click on the subscribe button so that each time I post a new video, you will be notified. So in today's video, we are going to be learning how to draft a bustier, how to draft it directly without first of all drafting a basic bodice pattern. So let's get right in. So in these tutorials, I'll be using this carton paper. I have my rulers here, my marker, scissors, tape, the measurements I'm working with. So I hope by now we are all familiar with the basic bodice pattern. This is a basic bodice pattern. I hope you are familiar with this, with the shoulder, armhole, and of course the dart. Now in today's video we'll be doing 6 inches off. This is what we mean by 6 inches. This is not going to have a shoulder. 6 inches off, which will be for the armhole depth to be 5 inches off the armhole because of the shoulder slant. So take note of that. These are the measurements we are working with. Shoulder 16, bust 38, under bust 32, waist 33, shoulder to bust is 11, shoulder to under bust is 15, shoulder to waist is 17, and shoulder and the armhole depth is 7.8. I would say we are taking 6 inches off. So quickly we just take the vertical measurements. So we are doing 6 inches off. So you allow the 6 to be at this. This is our starting line. Like this. Shoulder to bust is 11. Shoulder to under bust is 15. And shoulder to waist is 18. 11, 15, 18. And then we connect together. Just connect the lines. So I'll cut this off so that I'll see the parts we are working with. So this is the piece we are working with. We'll just label it. This is the bust line. This is the under bust, and of course this is the waist. So first of all, we're going to determine our neckline. If you have watched my videos on formulas, by now you know how to take how to determine the neckline. Okay. Can use the shoulder divided by 2 minus 2. Shoulder divided by 2 minus 2. This shoulder we are working with is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Minus 2 is 6. So I'm going to be marking 6 inches. Then on that same formulas and calculation, we've learned also that we can also determine our chest line by going up from the bust line 2 inches. So from the bust line, you go up by 2 inches. 2 inches. And then you mark that line. So this becomes our chest line. And then on this chest line, you take the bust measurement so that we can get our armhole curve. The bust we are working with is 38, which is 9 points. If you divide that by 4, you have 9.5. 9.5. Mark it on the chest line like this. 9.5. It's 9.5. Okay, and then we connect from here to here to get our armhole. The off shoulder armhole is not deep like the regular armhole. This is a regular armhole, so it's a bit different from this. So we just connect with our roller. And it's falling off here. Like so. So, have we gotten that? The next thing we are going to do, we'll determine our neckline. Now, remember that we have 6 inches off. So, one want to have like a sweetheart kind of neckline. So, from this, sorry, let me correct this line. This line is a bit. Let me correct the line here this way, so that we have okay, so disregard this. So this is the line here. So you determine the neckline. We want to have a sweetheart kind of neckline. Okay, so you determine it, how deep you want your cleavage to show. Remember that we already have 6 inches off, so from that line I'll just come down by 1.5 inch, mark it, and then I use the ruler to connect that to the armhole like this. If you do not have a French curve, you can use your bare hand to do that. So the next thing I need to do is to put the darts. Just cross check if this line. Okay, this line is correct. This is the one we are working with, not this. So our nipple to nipple point is 7.5 divided by 2. We have 3.75. So we'll mark that on our bust line, on the under bust. Just mark it straight down, goes up to this part. So let me cross check this. So we'll connect the line all the way up. So on this under bust line, we are going to take a dart of 1 inch on both sides. We'll repeat same on the waistline. With the straight ruler, we connect the under bust to the waistline. This is my marker. And then we use our fresh curve to connect the under bust to the bust point, or to come down by 1/2 inch. Okay, so at this upper part, we also take 1 inch on both sides. At this bust point, we go up by 1/2 inch. and use our French curve to connect that. So we are going to be cutting here out. We're also going to be cutting here out. Because we have removed this that here, we'll extend the neckline this way. So the 2 inches, we'll add it. And then we'll also extend this armhole line. Okay, so this is the one we are now going to use. So the next thing to do now is to impute the bust circumference on the bust line, which is 9.5. So we are no longer following this. You can use the fresh curve to blend here. We have come down here now, like, let's say ½ inch. Just regard this. So let's impute our bust circumference divided by 4. You see our under bust is 32 divided by, we have 8, and then we have a 2 inches dart here. We'll replace that, and then our waistline, we have 8.25. We also have a 2 inches dart to replace. So let's connect that and see what we have. So you can go ahead and place the sewing allowance. So our neckline is supposed to be 6 inches. So let's measure what we have. It's 3. Okay. So that means we have a seam allowance. So that is basically all for this pattern. So let's cut it out and see what it looks like. So before we cut it out finally, we'll just use this to cut out the back pattern. this out. Sorry. Okay, let me cut it on. They're supposed to be on fold. Okay. So remember that the front length is longer than the back with 2 inches. So I'm going to place this such that I'll have. Okay, first of all, let me just mark where this is supposed to pass through. This is the armhole, and then this is the side. So I'll stop 2 inches before. Okay, because our back pattern is always shorter than the front with like 2 inches. So there are 2 ways to do it. I'll show you. It is either you make it like this, you do the same, you draw the same thing. I'll show you 2 ways to go about that. Let's just measure the same thing first. So let me cut that part. So this is what we have after we have used it to cut it out. So there are 2 ways you can achieve the reduction of that 2 inches I get to remove from the back. You know, when you measure, when you take a measurement, let me show you on the mannequin. So when you measure the shoulder, you measure the shoulder to the waistline for the front, and you measure the back, you discover that there is always a shortage. So it is that shortage that we are talking about. So imagine that you have marked here. Let me use this to mark. So imagine you have marked here as so you take those things where I want to see. Okay. You see, shoulder to waist here we have 14. But from the front side, you see what we have. You see that there is a difference. Okay, so that is that difference we are talking about. So to accommodate that difference, there are 2 ways you can do it. The first one is to take a bust dart. That means from this bust line, you come down by 2 inches and connect towards the bust point. Stop like 1 inch away. This is the first method to use, so that you cut here off. By the time we cut it and adjust it, it will now reduce this side by 2 inches. Okay, and when you have that on the back pattern, it means that you will not use this complete one that we have. Right now we have 12. We also have 12 here. So it means that on this back we will now have 10. We will cut 2 inches off. We will cut this 2 inches off. place that you will not get here, we'll cut it off. Okay, then the second, that means it will end somewhere here. Then the second method to do this is that we would go up on this back line by 2 inches and slant it. Sorry, we'll go up at this side and we'll now slant it to the side so that the side can be the same. Okay, so let's just do this back pattern and then we'll cut this and see what it looks like. I hope I'm not confusing you. So the neckline, the front neckline is 6 inches. Right now we have 8 inches, so we'll take our zipper allowance, 2 inches for zipper. You can take 1.5, or you can take, some people take 1.5, so take 1 inch, but me I take 2 inches, especially when you need to, you'll be doing turning with your lining, so that after you have turned the fabric to the lining, you still have allowance. You still have allowance to stitch. So I'm going to be using here as the zipper allowance. This is our zipper allowance. So the neckline, we now have 6 as our neckline. Now you can also determine if you want a straight neckline, or if you want the back to be deeper. Remember, this is the front. The front is already at 7.5. So if you want the back to be deeper, so it depends on you. We already have 6 inches off, so if you want to be like 2 more inches deeper, you can come down by 2 inches. And now use your fresh curve to connect that. You connect it to the armhole. So this is our neckline for the back. We are going to be cutting here off. So let's impute our dart. Nickel to nickel is 7.5, which is 3.75. Connect that. Just connect all the way up. Like this. And then we take 1/2 inches dart on both sides. And connect up. You can roll it such that you will not get to the line completely. And stop somewhere. Now let's indicate the chest line, the bust line. This was the bust line. Okay. So this was the bust line. And 2 inches from that gave us the chest line. So this is the chest line. So this is the chest line, this is the bust line. You don't really need on that bust. This is the waistline. So from this chest line, you can come down by 1 inch. That's where the dart will stop. So you can ignore this. So we are going to be cutting here off. So this is the zipper allowance side. So to avoid that zip bulge, so you can take your 2 inches away from here. So from here, take your 2 inches and now connect it to the, connect it like this. To avoid that zip bulge, so you are going to cut here out. So this bustier can use it for a peplum. So let's cut out our pattern and see. Okay, one more thing, the bust circumference divided by 4. We'll do it after the zipper line. First, that is 9.5. 9.5, and then the small allowance, use this for that, and then the waist 8.25, 8.25, and this allowance 1 inch. And you can also have another 1 inch somewhere. Cut it out. This is the zipper. You know, your fabric will be a fold, and then you cut here open. So this one I will say we use to avoid zipper bulge. I'm going to cut it off. Use the pin to hold both together so that to avoid movement. So I've cut out the darts. If you like, you can separate it and just cut it straight up to the neckline. So remember to put allowance all around where you're transferring to fabric. So this is our back pattern. Let's cut out the front pattern. So you only use this bust dart if you have cut the back pattern shorter than the front pattern. But if you did not cut them short, you cut them the same. You use the same length. You use the same 12 inches to cut it. Then it's only the zipper side you slant. But if, for example, you cut this one 12 and you now cut this one 10, then you will now cut out this dart so that by the time you now shift the dart, you now shift it, you will now have 10. I hope that is clear. And by the time you get to here and you now continue, so you now have the 10. Shape out this piece. I'm going to shape here out. So that's the pattern. Then you can notch just place so that when you are joining, they will be the same. Here and here it corresponds. Okay, and then here and here this will correspond, and then here and here. So you can shaking the neckline again. Of course, you blend it very well. You just blend it. And put it both together. So it's okay now. So this is the front pattern, and then this is our back pattern. This is our back pattern. We also have two pieces of the back pattern. So this is the front, and then this is the back. This is the back pattern. And you see that you see that everything corresponds after joining to not correspond. So you have come to the end of this class. I hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave comments behind on the comment section, and if there's any video you want us to practicalize, kindly suggest on the comment section below and we'll treat it. So I'll see you again in another video, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.